Planet X TV.
What's happening, Planet X? Chilling back here, Gavin, in at Sunset Cliffs, hanging out with Brett Johnson. Brett, you've got all sorts of stuff going on. Cuba Jazz Festival. Tell me about that.
Well, it's a lot of good times, and I always try to mix business and pleasure, not really in that kind of, intersecting intercourse way, but in a way that, it's supposed to just enjoy life and go out there and make money while you're doing it, So that's why I go to these festivals, and that's why I go to Cuba and travel the world.
What started all of that?
It's in my blood. Parents got us traveling when I was a young kid, and just the sense of adventure and knowing that you can go somewhere and soul search and come back and be a different person, I think, has always been a very favorable aspect of travel for me.
And jazz, because
it's not all jazz at Jazz Fest, and it's not all jazz in Cuba, So there's a good amount of funk and rock and reggae going on and blues. So it's really the festivals that are labeled as jazz usually have a lot more elements. So it's usually a good backstep and dancing good time.
Great to hear. A lot of success with Cuba. Let's hear about the original days of Planet X. You're an OG. I want to hear more about those old school days, what it was like with hanging out Planet X.
What are we allowed to tell them? I don't know. What are we allowed to say? There's so many things that are amazing about the start of Planet X and so many dark spots. And I've never had to go to therapy for any of it because I look at the silver lining. And the silver lining is that, to be a pioneer in media for action sports has a lot of weight to it when you start talking to people these days. 20 years later, you think, wow, really? You guys, and it's still going. It's like, yeah, it's like the Warped Tour. Same thing. They basically took action sports and music, threw it together, got Pennywise on stage, and you got vert ramp skaters and BMXers, and you go throw that rotating circus out on the road. It's, and it's still going. So there's, a lot to be said about the people that go out there and try to do something. And, back in the day, we were just trying, man, and it seemed to work. It's still here.
Keeping it with the hustle of Planet X. Do you have a favorite moment with Planet X from the old school days?
One of my favorite moments on Planet X was doing a shoot with Donna D'Erico. She was in Baywatch, Playboy, and we were doing a fitness shoot with Shape Magazine and my friend Linda Shelton. And we had to, as the crew, go interview her while she was doing this beach workout, photo shoot. And so at the end of it, I asked her, what tires you out? What's your favorite exercise that keeps you in shape to be on the show? And in total deadpan, she goes, sex. Nice. And I had to just straight face, no reaction. I was just like this. I was like, okay. And I basically had to keep a straight face. So but it was great because that's what hosting shows and interviewing is all about, because you never know what's going to come out of the other person's mouth, right? And then you have to be cool enough to accept it, take it, and walk on.
God, you champed it out on that one, Brett. That's some funny stuff. I probably would have started asking positions, how long. Probably went all bad. I probably got slapped. But I want to move on to our next subject, and it's no offense, but how's the Planet X retirement plan been working out for you?
It's a tough retirement plan because we really didn't even have a 401k set up. It was like a 201k. So I don't even know what we invested in. Okay. But I think I have a piece of a tire from a motorhome breaking down. I have a few pictures, and I probably got 14 pairs of sunglasses and 9 watches. So I guess if I hawk those, it could be my retirement program.
So I have a lot to look forward to.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I appreciate that. Cool, man. So it sounds like you're AKA Jet Bronson, the role. What's all about that? What's going on with Jet Bronson? Where did that?
Jet Bronson was it was a nickname given to me by my friends in high school, just switching the Brett and the Johnson, the B and the J, for Jet Bronson instead of Brett Johnson, and gave me a lot of crap because first it was because of girls, and they would talk to me before them at a bar, and we were going to bars our end of high school. So then it turned into travel. And Jet being, an aviator nickname, it worked. So traveling and zigzagging the world was, it just seemed to fit. So I just kind of took it as this adventure hero Jet Bronson name. So that's where it comes from.
So it sounds like I want to be your wingman, Brett, if you're cool with that.
brother.
All right, I appreciate that. The protege here in Planet X. So what's going on nowadays? The beer industry, you're doing all sorts of stuff. What's up?
Doing beverage, going down to New Zealand in 10 days to do a collaboration brew with Ninkasi Brewing and Birkenhead Brewing Company. And the free trade agreement in New Zealand that stands, it could sell beer to China and Australia from there. So that's a big opportunity for an American based brewery and brand to get into the Chinese market. And that's exciting. So I'll be down there for 2 weeks doing that collaboration brew. And then I go back to Havana in January because there's direct flights from LAX, Planet X, LAX, going to Havana. So might as well do daily direct flights for $400 on Alaska Airlines round trip. Done. Sign me up. I'm done. I'm going for the weekend. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
So that's going out well. You're having a lot of fun. Anything exciting?
Well, I'd say New Zealand and Cuba are pretty exciting, and I got to go, I take it in 2-month chunks, because otherwise it's you get too caught up. And so I try to just kind of make a plan, take some travel, make sure that I get some travel every month, and then move on. And so, yeah, GT's Kombucha keeps me busy. I've been consulting with them for a year and a half, and it's about how to scale their business as a kombucha brand and increase their market share and maintain market share in some places, and expand their offerings into distribution. So yeah, it all keeps me busy.
Busy man today. Well, you want to say anything else to Planet X? Any other good old words?
Planet X, keep rocking, brothers and sisters.
Brett Johnson, Planet X, Gavin Fleming. We'll see you guys next time.
Planet X TV.